Hello and welcome back to the Squirrelhead YouTube channel, and welcome to Let's Preview or Let's Review, depending on what I'm doing. And this one is going to be both, because I'm obviously reviewing the Liverpool Plymouth Argyle game and then previewing the two games we've got coming up as well. It's going to be like we're going to try and fire through these. I noticed that my videos take quite a hell of a long time to actually get through. They end up being 15 minutes long, and I'm waffling like hell like I am right now. So we're going to try and blast through these with some key points and see where we go. See if you like that format a little bit better as well, and maybe we'll start getting some more views up as well. Liverpool versus Plymouth Argyle. There was a lot of kickoffs on social media and a lot of kickoffs with some of the media outlets as well. Particularly TalkSport were kicking off left, right and centre about Jurgen Klopp's team selection and stuff like that. You know what? It's either what do you do in these situations, and we have brought this situation back on ourselves now, where we are playing a midweek game all the way through January, and then we've got weekend games. So we play like 8 games in January alone. Some of those we've obviously already played. Now, yes, I was quite impressed with how the youngsters actually came in to the team and played. Yes, they didn't get the goals, but I think one of the quotes from TalkSport was, people are waxing lyrical over the youngsters of Liverpool and they couldn't score against Plymouth. Sometimes it doesn't happen. It happens when you've got the most experienced teams of all time. You could even look at some of our most experienced teams and other teams in the league as well, we've got strikers all over the place, like Sergio Aguero. You've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic over at Man United. We've had some good strikers ourselves. Suarez, we've got Sturridge when he's on fire. There's strikers all around the Premier League, and there's games that have ended in a 0-0 that probably shouldn't have ended as a 0-0, between what is classed as a higher power team to a lower power team, or whatever you want to do, depending on what division they come through. Sometimes it happens, and it happened on this occasion. I'm not particularly bothered, because yeah, we're still in the cup. We obviously have to go to Plymouth, and we have to go and play that game as well. But I'll be honest with you, I think with a couple of changes, we'll end up getting a goal and getting through on that one as well. Plymouth held out on us, and they did very, very well to hold on for an FA Cup replay. They did do very well in that respect, but I still think that our youngsters did very, very well with a very much changed team, with pretty much only a couple of first-team regulars coming in. And I know he did throw on the likes of Sturridge later on in the game, and Adam Lallana and Firmino, obviously maybe to try and get a goal and stuff like that. But you know what? It just wasn't happening. And people can kick off left, right and centre all they want, but at the end of the day, we're still in the cup. We haven't been a cup casualty of the FA Cup. We haven't been one of the ones that gets slain, one of the big teams that gets slain by a lower team. So we move on. Now, the Southampton game is going to be important because of, Southampton aren't on the best run of form at all at the moment in the league. You can see it right there. They've won 1 in their last 6, drawn 2 and lost 3. We've drawn 2 and won 4. We're looking okay on form. It's just some of the teams that we've obviously drawn against aren't the best teams of all time. But that sometimes happens. We've blown teams away at the start of the season. We're not going to carry that on all the way through the season either. There's rumours that we could end up putting Daniel Sturridge and Origi up top, and I've suggested it a couple of times in previews before that I'd love to see what Origi and Sturridge are like up top together. I would love to see what that looks like, and especially it's the perfect time to try it when we are missing Sadio Mane, and we're not going to have necessarily a winger or something like that. It could be a change of formation. There's a fact that apparently Coutinho could feature in this match, so that could be something like 45 minutes if it's still 0-0 or 1-0 either way, whichever way. But I do think that generally from goalkeeper up to midfield, you're going to see a pretty similar team that you did against Plymouth. My prediction for this game, though, and you maybe not going to like it, but because it's going to be a 2-legger, for me, I think it's going to end up being a draw. I really do. And I think it's going to be a score draw. I think it'll be 1-1. I just don't see. I think Southampton are going to set out to frustrate us. And if we put out quite a youngish team, and we put out maybe a bit of a, not less experienced, but if we don't put out like our standard back four with the likes of Milner, Klavan, Lovren and such like that, if we don't put that out, maybe even Klein, because of the Manchester United game, I'm pretty sure that they're going to get a goal, we'll get a goal, and I think it'll be a stalemate, and I think it'll be a 1-1, which, to be fair, I would take, and then we take the game back to Anfield and finish it off. So we move straight on to the Manchester United game, and we're at Old Trafford, and we had a stalemate against Man United the first time. We changed some things when Adam Lallana was out injured, and he came on in the second half and changed things up a little bit. Things started to look a little bit more electric, and we had opportunities, we just didn't take them. This is going to be a different animal, though, because if you look at the goals conceded by Manchester United in their last 6 games. They've conceded 3 out of 6, and they've scored more than 2 or more goals in each of those games, and they've come up against different opposition. they are starting to win matches, and they're starting to look pretty. I've got to be honest, they are starting to look pretty good. Pogba is starting to really look like he's pinging passes left, right, and centre. He looks like he's found his space in the Man United team. Ibrahimovic hasn't played against Hull in the Cup. He was apparently ill in that one, but maybe they were actually saving him. Rooney, he's looking for his 250th goal. He's been subbed off at 59 minutes in the game tonight, and I can only assume that they may be looking for him to get that goal against Liverpool as well, which wouldn't that be poetic for Man United and for him to break Bobby Charlton's record and get 250 goals, and it happened against Liverpool. The immense pressure that we can put teams under when we have a first team out is unreal. And if we are, the only person that we could be missing is Sadio Mane. We could have Joel Matip back. We'd probably have Mignolet back in goal. Klavan in there as well. Milner, hopefully he's coming back in pretty soon. Henderson is due back as well. We can then get, obviously, Klein on right back, Henderson in the midfield, Lallana, Wijnaldum or Chan, or both, whichever. Depending on how they line up top. You could then have Sturridge and Origi and Coutinho coming back into the team, or Firmino. We've got so many options there, and then we also got some substitutions that we could use as well. But primarily, we have to go out there and try and hit these lot like a hammer. We really have to try and put them under pressure pretty damn quickly. The problem that you've got, they've got a world-class goalkeeper. They've got a pretty damn good solid defence, as you can see from their record here. At the moment, we look like we can keep possession and we can play it around really, really nicely, but it kind of sometimes looks like we are susceptible to the break. So if they happen to break on us, sometimes they don't start with pace, but if they do anything like they did like against Hull in the Cup tonight, where they brought Martial on late on to give a new, fresh batch of legs, and it was unbelievable the impact that he could have on there, because he may not have scored or anything like that, but he's got pace and he's got technique. He's a young lad. Rashford's got ridiculous pace and he's not scared of anything. He will run through things like where people come up against Klavan. He'll clatter someone, but Rashford wouldn't care. If it was an opportunity to get past him or to get a free kick or to get a penalty, he will go for it. They have a lot of options as well. Mkhitaryan, who is now, he's another one who's coming into finding his place in the team as well, and he's looking pretty damn good. Set up the goal for Juan Mata with a beautiful header, and it really was a good header. They really are starting to find some pretty good form. You can't deny them that. As much as you might want to as a Liverpool fan, you can't deny them that. And I don't think people could ever turn around and say that I'm being very biased towards my team. I think I'm trying to approach this in a very unbiased way, that I'm trying to come across like where we are in terms of form and how we're performing. If we can put in performances like we put in against Manchester City, like we did against Stoke and stuff like that as well, we could do quite well in this game. On the flip side, if Manchester United do the same, this could end up being another stalemate, but maybe more of an action-packed stalemate. I don't want to predict a stalemate, and I really, really don't. And it's really difficult because of the run of form that Man United are on, the run of form that we're on, where we've drawn against Sunderland and we've drawn against Plymouth in our last two games, whereas they've beaten West Ham. All right, sometimes they're pretty much the Premier League whipping boys at the moment, and 4-0 against Reading, but professional, comfortable wins, and a 2-0 against Hull in the Cup tonight. If you don't know, I'm recording this on Tuesday night as well. I think that they're on a little bit of form. They're keeping clean sheets. They're looking good going forward. They're looking comfortable at the back. I think we can cause them problems, but again, and I don't think people are going to like it, I've got to go with my gut feeling though, and I do think the Man United game, as important as it is, I think it's going to end up being a score draw, and it's going to either be a 1-1 or a 2-2 or something like that. It's not worrying times, but we have to make sure that we at least either draw this game or win it. Win it is obviously the preferable one, and I think that we could win it, but my gut feeling says that this game is going to be a draw, and I've got to go for a 1-1 draw. I've just got to be realistic and honest with how I feel. I'm not going to make anything up. Get your thoughts in the comments below about all of that, because I've covered 3 different things in this one today. The Plymouth game, the Southampton game midweek, well, tomorrow, or Wednesday if you're watching this on Wednesday, and the Man United game at the weekend as well. But let me know what you think about all of that in the comments below. Drop a like on this video if you've enjoyed it, and if you did find anything annoying, drop it in the comments below, and we can have some discussion. I don't mind that at all. I encourage it. Get on that sort of stuff as well. Subscribe if you're new around here. We're doing quite well on subs at the moment. I'm quite happy with the slow progression. We're doing very well. So thank you all so very much for that. Thanks very much for watching, as always. And I'll catch you later.